Good morning, Mayhem Fitness. We are out on a beautiful Saturday morning doing our bike ride this morning. We are shooting for our goal this month in July of 500 miles. We're coming up to one of my favorite roads here, North Street over in Westwood. It goes into Walpole, Mass. A lot of farms here, long hill here. The only reason I want to share this with you is we've talked, I think, before a little bit. As you tackle these hills, what I try to do is just kind of look 5 feet in front of me and focus on that next little bit, so I'm not looking up the whole hill the whole time, kind of dreading it. This isn't terrible. It's a moderate grade, just long. So, you know, if you're thinking about getting out here and starting to take on biking, and hopefully these videos inspire you to get out and ride, because I'll tell you, it's my favorite time of the day, because I can just get on my bike for an hour or two and kind of let the rest of the world behind me. You know, take your time, especially as you're going up the hills. This is where people struggle. I'm early in my ride here. I'm gonna do somewhere between 20 and 25 miles this morning. I'm probably 4 or 5 miles in, so I'm pretty early. So I try not to get too aggressive in the first half of the ride, knowing that I'll need my legs in the back half. I have a couple of hills that are more challenging than this one that I try to save my legs for later on, so I'm not completely beat. I also bring food with me, and I try to eat at the, you know, halfway point or thereabouts as I need it. And I drink a lot of water. But again, if you keep your head down, again, we've been talking not a long time, probably a minute or so, maybe not even that long. And you can see we get up here and we're at the top of the hill. But the cool part here is just how cool all the scenery is up here. Just a beautiful area. A lot of, for this area, you know, we're less than 20 minutes from downtown Boston from here. There's no traffic. And you can see we've got beautiful farm area, nice wide open space. So just one of the rides I like a lot. Figured I'd share with you. But again, if you're thinking about getting out and starting riding, you know, a key to this, I said this in one of my first videos, but one of the keys is just really finding areas you love to ride and that you want to ride over and over again. Now you'll see here, we have a nice little downhill after that uphill. So we get a little bit of speed here. It'll probably be a little tough to hear me. Over here, very cool. Yeah, so you get the joy of that fast downhill. I'm gonna be honest, I mean, I can't imagine where I'd rather be on a beautiful Saturday morning in July than out here riding right now. I mean, it's about perfect. It's like 78 degrees. There's a little bit of a breeze still. We got some good shade here, but the sun's out, the sky is perfect. It's just awesome. So when you start to think about why would you ride and why would you want to get out here, I mean, in all honesty, we all have a lot of stress in our daily lives, and there's a lot going on. I wish I could run. I can't. My knees and feet aren't great. I can walk like crazy. I've got great endurance. I can ride. I can hike, but I can't really run. So this for me is kind of my my sanctuary away from home, and and all the everyday stresses you have in life. This is just great. So if you're thinking about getting out and ride, do it. You know, well, like I said, we'll talk in a new video coming up soon around, you know, buying a bike and should you get a hybrid or a road bike or new or used, and I'll walk you through some of that. But just get a bike and get out there and enjoy. You know, my only thing would be to tell you to just be safe. You know, make sure you're wearing the right equipment. I've talked about that a couple of times. I always have a helmet on. I'm always wearing like some type of a bright colored shirt to let people see me. If I ride at night, I always have my lights on. I have a blinking red light in the back, and then I have a white light in the front that gives me pretty good scenery. This road at night has no street lights, so it's pretty interesting to take this one on. You're like the only beacon of light, but it's a lot of fun too. But I would just say, again, you know, get out there, do it. Don't be afraid. You know, again, don't tackle long rides at the beginning. You know, most people get out there and your butt's gonna hurt a lot the first probably month or two until you get used to it. Now I'm to the point where I can be in the seat for 3 hours without really my butt hurting me. That took a long time. You know, my intention is to ride all year round, and hopefully you follow me on the journey, and we get to see some rides together in the winter as we do some of this. But once you start to get used to it, I went out last night and I did 40 just because I was trying to decide what I wanted to do, and it was great. I went out and had a great time. I wanted to get to my 500 miles. Yesterday I was going to try to get 20 miles in, 25, and focus on getting more this weekend, but I was able to go out and get 40. And again, that was less than 12 hours ago, and we're back on the bike and we feel good and the legs are good. We're enjoying again this nice ride. So talk to everybody soon as we get a little further in. I know it's probably tough to hear, you get a lot of wind noise, but again, how can you get out here on a beautiful Saturday and not love this? We've got a good downhill, get some good speed. It's nice green around us, beautiful blue sky. It's just an awesome day to be out riding. So I would just say again, as you're thinking about what you want to do and get into riding potentially, do it just for joy, just to get out and really enjoy the ride. Don't time yourself the first couple of months. Don't worry about speed. Just worry about getting out and getting the ride in and enjoying it, and find a place that you love to go out to. And all of a sudden, I bought this bike last year, and the guy at the bike shop said, you'll be surprised when doing Century rides soon. And I'm like, yeah, right. I'll never go out and do 100 miles. That's just crazy to me. And then literally a little over a year later, I did a 100-mile ride, and I've done some 50s. Like I said, I went out yesterday, did 40 just for fun. You'll find, and I started like everybody else, I started doing 3 to 5 miles. I'd take the bike to the gym, which was like 2.8 miles, both ways. So it would give me like 6 miles in, and now I'm doing, 20, 30 miles a day on the weekends and 15 miles every day in the week. So again, just think about, not the where you are today, but where you want to be, and you'll get there much faster than you realize. Okay, we're gonna try this today. It looks like the sign is working at the other end of this highway on-ramp. There's a pretty good downhill with one of the speed signs where the speed limit is 35 miles an hour. We've been able to get yelled at a couple of times telling we're going too fast, so let's see if we can get enough speed today. We got a little bit of a headwind, so it might be a little tough. I'm going to try to see if I can get in the drop bars once I get on the other side of these exit ramps and try to push and see if we can get yelled at by this sign if we're going too fast in the 35. So we are on ride 4 of the last 2 days. Whew, just up a hill here. We are trying to get to 120 miles this weekend. We were shooting for 500 in July, and we had 180 miles left to go as of Friday, so today is Saturday. Today's my second ride of the day. I've done 20 miles earlier today. I did 13 yesterday, followed by 28 last night. So we're going up to another 20 now, about an hour and a half. Again, what I wanted to share on here is, you know, if you have a goal, you know, break it into more reasonable chunks. It was tough today. I couldn't go out and get probably 40 today in a row. It was warm. It's getting a little later in the day. It's about 6 o'clock. Still warm out, probably 84, 85, but it's not the midday heat that we had when it was like 90. Humidity's come down just a little bit. So we're out here just kind of pushing forward, trying to get that last little bit of here today, kind of get back to it tomorrow. I'm hoping, honestly, to do at least 30 tomorrow. That will put me at 110, which would leave me like 70 left for the week, which is relatively easy for me. I do typically 12 to 15 every day after dinner, so should be able to get that 500 mile goal in this month. I'm looking forward to it. We have one more shot today to get in front of that speed sign that says 35 and try to see if we can get it to yell at us for going too fast. So I'll share that with you in a little bit. Thanks. So the strangest thing for me, COVID, has just been the lack of people. You know, we've seen some come back of traffic during the weekdays, but it's 6 o'clock on Friday night in the middle of summer. It's July 25th, and it's just quiet. You know, typically during a day like this on these side streets, we see a bunch of barbecues, families out. We're up to a kind of a little bit of a park area, a conservation area. People trying to go and hike, see one car. Again, this is a pretty major road, Route 109. You know, it goes from, you know, New Dedham and Westwood, Walpole. Just a fairly major road. And you can just see how quiet it is. I mean, there's a couple of cars out here, but, you know, there's nobody out running or biking. I see one guy over here. This morning was pretty busy, but by 6 o'clock, it's just strange. Lived in this town for 19 years, and, you know, I'm used to seeing just a different level of traffic, a different level of people out, just enjoying the day. And on, again, a beautiful day like this, I would expect to see more people out. So just kind of an observation. Again, you see the road in front of us. There are no cars. We're coming up to an ice cream shop up here. They're now closed at 6 instead of 9 or 10. That used to be just packed in the summertime. So it's just still strange. Very different out here. So just thought I'd share that with you. Just a different type of ride. We have a little less headwind tonight than we did this morning. It's a little warmer, so the bike's feeling a little faster. Let's see if we can get this sign up here yelling at us, telling us we're going over the speed limit. We got the 33 earlier. Let's see if we can get the 36 or 37. We've done it before. So let's we're gonna get into the drop bars here in a second and crank it out. Get by this exit here, drive down to the drop bars and see what we can do here. Hopefully she's still registering. Yeah. Alright. See if we got yelling at us. We're going too coming to the end of this second 20-mile ride today. This one was pretty good. The heat was a little bit high, but not too bad. I actually feel great on this ride today. It's nice and It's nice and easy. There's not a lot of wind. This one wasn't too challenging. You know, just trying to get out there and get those 100 miles in this weekend, or 120, to stay in front of that 500 for the month. Just interesting to try to go through and think about how you do your rides a little different, or try to add some more different challenges in every month. You know, next month I'm trying to figure out August, and I haven't figured that out yet. I'm not sure what my goals are. You know, I'm a little disappointed in July's steps, only because I'm going to be less than I was the previous month. Now, I know I've added in some biking, and we've had some really long distance challenges this month. They kind of messed me up a little bit and slowed me down. But, you know, August, I'd like to really push more walking and, you know, try to maintain the biking. I'm thinking 350 or 400 miles in August is probably what I'm going to shoot for on the bike, and try to push back up to, you know, 17 or 18,000 steps a day in August versus probably the 15,000 or so I'm going to finish with in July. So, but again, good ride. As you get more into cycling and you start to think about it, you know, think about how you want to break down these rides. They don't have to all be at once. You know, I wanted to do 40 miles today, so I feel good doing 2 20-mile rides. You know, pretty far apart. Had the whole day. You know, took my wife out. We went out for the day. You know, went and made dinner. That video will be up probably before this one, so you might see that with the chicken wings and stuff. So kind of allowed me to do everything and then still get back out and get a nice ride to end the night before I go back and relax. And when we get home, we're gonna have a nice beverage, sit in the hammock for a bit, and just relax and call it a night. So see you tomorrow. We'll finish up our 100-mile gauntlet over the weekend, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. Thanks. On to day 3 of our challenge. We're getting 100 miles in over these 3 days to push to our 500 miles for July. We are Sunday morning. We've done 40 miles each of the last 2 days. We get out today and do another at least 30 is the goal. We're gonna do 20 right now. Today might be a little tougher. Expecting it to be close to 100 today, so I got my jelly beans, I got my water, I am ready to go. So we'll share more as we go along. But now we're getting started on our 20 miles today on our quest for 500 in July. All right, so we're halfway through our 20-mile morning ride. Pretty decent pace so far. Today's one of those days where there's a lot of headwind, and when you start riding, you don't think about that a lot, the wind direction. But it really does make a huge difference when you're riding on how easy the ride's gonna be that day. So I try to go into the headwind first and have a tailwind in the ride home. Today though, it just seems like every direction I have a wind. So sometimes it's gonna be challenging. Just understand when you get out there, if you start riding more, that, you know, the hills you can kind of account for because you know where they are, hopefully, as you do more familiar rides. But those headwinds and tailwinds, you never know, and they could you know, change your pace honestly by, you know, a mile or 2 an hour, depending how aggressive they are, both directions. You know, you can definitely go faster, and some days it'll slow you down. So just something to keep in mind as you start to get out and ride more and do more miles. Something you want to factor in. So just something to keep thinking about. Okay, we've got our 3rd shot here at getting this sign to yell at us here for going too fast. So we got the 33.8 yesterday. We got to try to push to see if we can get over 35. It's warm. Usually that's good for getting good speed here. So once I get past this ramp again, we will go in and we will get into the drop bars.